Ashwin says, how do you grow your self-respect and confidence? By accomplishing the things that you want to accomplish, by being fair to yourself and educating yourself, researching on what you want, accomplishing what it is that you want to accomplish, at least doing your best in that path, and then you will have the confidence. Accomplishing the things that you set out to accomplish will help you bring that confidence. But if you want to get confidence by just buying things and being in a relationship, getting that confidence because you are with a girl or you're in a relationship, that's just nonsense. That's not going to work. I seem to have had difficulty having conversations in general with other people, male or female, which makes moving on slightly more difficult. Well, okay, when you want to have a conversation with someone, if you're really having a hard time, just consider they're sitting and shitting. That's it. Consider them, they've gotten up in the morning and they're sitting on the toilet and they're shitting. And that quickly tells you they're no different than you. They have nothing more than you. And you feel like, whoa, you've got all your clothes on, and in your imagination, they're naked and sitting and shitting, and they look funny and needy, and they don't look so big. And, you know, suddenly you will look at them like they are human beings. That's all, no more. And if that's too funny for you, start cracking up and you're doing that, then all you have to do, look at their feet. When you look at someone's face, that's where the eyes are, and that's where they have this, you perceive them as something, you see them as some character you saw in the movie with the same posture, or same look, or same whatever, and you think of them as something that they're more than what they are, because you don't see them anymore. You see the idea of them, and in your mind you have seen some posture of this kind, some grooming of this kind, some clothing of this kind, a man or woman in some movie, and you perceive them as the character in that movie. Maybe it was a powerful or capable character in that movie, or some other personas that you have seen in life, and you perceive this person rather than seeing them. And then you kind of interpreting the expressions, the facial expressions that they have, and the frowning and the expectations of this and that, and disagreement or agreement, or all their features in their facial expressions will communicate with you some kind of energy which could make you feel like perceiving something other than what it is, and buying into the bullshit that they're trying to portray of themselves, rather than seeing them as just a simple human being. So when that happens, simply look at their feet. You can see how fragile and normal they are. They're just another feet, and no different than you. And suddenly you don't see their clothes, you don't see their facial expressions, you don't see their frown or dissatisfaction or dissatisfied facial expressions, or their voice, or whatever it is. You won't be impressed by anything. You'll just look at their feet and say, hey, that's it. That's what they are. They're pretending they're more than that. If they're not pretending, you are giving them a certain kind of echelon based on what you see and you perceive them, rather than what they really are. So look at their feet and their shoes, and suddenly you can see that they're just as needy as you are, to have shoes on, and then to have clothes on. They have to eat, and suddenly you are treating them as human being, not anything more, and that will also show them that they're in the same level as you are, and you have nothing less than them, they have nothing more than you. And suddenly you will be far more confident than you were before, because this is your perception that makes something out of them that they're not, and make them something out of them that they're not, and they seem to be more than you, because you create that in your mind about them, and don't. And these are the ways, some of the simple ways that you can perhaps use and see how that works. All right. Remember, the importance of things and people is equal to your desire and need for them. I've said that in my other videos before. The importance of things and people is equal to your desire for them, to your need for them. So if you're talking with a woman and all you're thinking about is how beautiful she is, and you really love to get to know her, and how it would feel to be in a relationship with her, and to, you know, go on, have date and get to know her and have dinner, or, you know, go to a movie, or, you know, have sex with her and stuff, like all these things, these are your needs that are in your genes, and you're following that, and your desires, you've created the desire for something more than just a interaction of a human to human interaction. It's based on what you're programmed to need and desire on other levels with this, let's say, woman. And suddenly she becomes very important, because your need and desire for her, it doesn't let you see her as equal, because suddenly your desire overrides who you are and becomes more important than anything else to you, and you're following your desire, and then you want to achieve that desire to fluff your ego, and all of that come into the picture and doesn't let you actually see that person's quality of who she is, because your need and desire for whatever it is that you're hoping for takes over. It masks you, doesn't let you actually treat her as a human being, but instead as someone who can help you to fulfill your desire, which would then you will hopefully hoping to fluff your ego with, and the rest of it. So if you use these silly techniques that I just told you about, then you will not consider them with your need for them, and you will just see them as what they are, without having a need or desire about them. You know, if you're talking with a colleague who's a man, is not a woman, so you don't have the emotions, other emotions that you have for a woman, but you will see maybe that colleague is in a higher post, and you will have the need of the affirmation or compatibility or agreement with what he's saying, so you can have a positive evaluation in his mind, that you can have maybe secure your job or have a better opportunity. All these are the needs. So suddenly that person becomes important, and suddenly you think that person is more important than you, because you have a need for his affirmation, or his putting a good word for you in the company, or whatever it is. So if you understand that, you can see that the importance of things and people are equal to your need and desire for them. So if you can take that away, maybe you look at their shoes, then you will see, well, just another human being, and it will be easier for you to deal with it, until it becomes natural, and you don't see anybody as anything more than you just see them all as the consciousnesses, human beings, and you become more and more confident, and you will deal with them just normally, without any inferior feeling of any kind, which is the way it should be.